A stolen car, a neighborhood on edge, and suspects police believed were tied to a violent shooting. By the time officers in Cincinnati tracked the vehicle down, they already knew this wasn't going to be a normal stop. The car had been taken earlier that same day, traced using GPS all the way to Warsaw Avenue in East Price Hill. But what officers didn't fully expect was how fast everything would spiral.
Here, locked. I know.
Inside were three individuals, Ryan Hinton, DeAnthony Bullock, and Gerald Austin. And at least one of them, police believed, was armed. Then suddenly, everything exploded into motion. Before officers could even react, the car doors flew open. All three suspects ran.
No hesitation.
No warning, just chaos. They scattered in different directions, vanishing into the neighborhood streets. What started as a search instantly became a chase. And within minutes, it would turn deadly.
Y'all good?
An officer-involved shooting would follow, triggering outrage, arrests, and a wave of questions that no one could ignore. But in that moment, as the suspects fled, officers had no idea just how far this situation was about to go. And just like that, they were gone. Three suspects, scattered somewhere in the neighborhood. Within minutes, East Price Hill was flooded with police. Officers spread through streets and alleyways, racing to find them before they disappeared. This was no longer routine. Then, a radio call. One suspect had been spotted near a library, almost 2 miles away. Officers moved in fast and took him into custody. For a moment, it felt like a break in the case. But the suspect denied everything, claiming he was just passing through. Still, he matched the description. As officers questioned him outside, another officer entered the library, alerting staff and checking inside. Because at this point, no one knew who else might be hiding.
You opened at 10, and I didn't know if you had a detail.
Okay.
So I was trying to get you as soon as I can, but he's matching the description of there was 3 individuals that was involved in the shooting. It could possibly be a homicide, but it happened real close to the library. So I knew you opened at 10, so possibly could be a homicide. We don't know yet, but we have 3 suspects, so that's why we're...
Once the library was cleared, all focus shifted back outside. At first, it looked like a win. One suspect caught, but that relief didn't last. As officers questioned him, something didn't add up. Then it hit them. They had the wrong person. Just like that, he was released.
Listen, nobody shot at a police officer. Okay? Did you shoot at a police officer?
No, sir.
Do you mind if I take the DSR? You just gonna tell me if you shot a gun today or not? Okay, all right.
Funny. Funny. I was doing like this. They start laughing. Real weird. I ain't had cuffs on my hands in a minute.
And now, all 3 suspects were still out there. But before officers could regroup, another call came in. A woman, miles away, reported her gun had just been stolen. At the time, it seemed unrelated, but it wasn't, because that weapon was about to be tied directly to one of the suspects on the run.
There's not a whole lot of people that live on the street, so sometimes I know last night I left it open. Yeah. I know I left it unlocked. I know that for a fact. We're unlocked, and I think it's everyone. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm not up at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Using the same strategy as before, officers moved in from both sides of the wooded area, slowly squeezing the suspect toward an open clearing.
Get back, go. Last door.
What he didn't realize was that another team was already waiting on the opposite side. There was nowhere left to go. Moments later, the second suspect was taken into custody and placed into a patrol vehicle for transport.
Stand up. Hop out, man.
Watch your head. Step over here.
For the first time all day,
Going down here.
it looked like
Down this
officers were finally regaining control. 2 suspects
the
were
other
now
side.
in custody, but the situation was far from over. One major problem remained. Earlier, a woman had reported her gun stolen, and despite the arrests, the weapon still hadn't been recovered, which meant the final suspect could still be armed. While 2 suspects were being transported to the station, the rest of the unit stayed on high alert, continuing the search. Another 911 call. A homeowner reported someone running through their backyard. At the time, they didn't realize it, but they had just seen the final suspect.
Down to the right.
900, we got plenty of cars on brand.
Probably down this. I'm not going down there though. Here, I'm gonna clear this.
And he was close. So close that nearby units immediately converged on the area. When officers reached the backyard, the suspect was already gone. But this time they didn't stop. They followed the path straight into a nearby wooded area.
Hey, we don't want to roll the crossfire here.
And within seconds of entering, they saw him. At the station, officers began processing the 2 men in custody. They were identified as 19-year-old DeAnthony Bullock and 18-year-old Gerald Austin. Both admitted they had been inside the stolen vehicle with Ryan Hinton. The car, they confirmed, was taken earlier that day from Kentucky, and all 3 fled when police moved in. The pair insisted they were only trying to escape and denied any role in the shooting. Investigators later confirmed neither of them fired a weapon. Police stated that Ryan Hinton was the only armed suspect and allegedly pointed a gun toward officers before the situation escalated.
Don't reach! Don't reach! Don't reach!
Get the suspect medical help.
I got a magazine right there too. There should be a magazine. I got the magazine, and I'm just standing here. Ensure that we got our going. Anything from here? I'm assuming not.
Hinton's death soon became the focus of public attention, sparking debate and demands for further investigation. In the days that followed, the case escalated again when Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr., was charged after allegedly striking a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy in what authorities described as retaliation.